Welcome to Merchants Payment Ecosystem, or MPE in Berlin. I'm here with Clemens Leitner, CEO of Dimoco.
Hello.
It's good to have you. Real pleasure for you to come and speak with us today. We've got a series of questions that we're going to go through about the industry and what we're seeing at large in the industry. We're going to kick straight off with what do you see as the key trends for merchants and consumers when it comes to payments?
Yeah, thank you for the introduction and for the invitation to this interview. One of the trends what we are looking into from the Dimoco perspective is the increasingly adoption within the subscription payment industry. Here we have seen in the recent past an uplift of subscription payments of a multiple of 3 during the past 5 years, and more to come on this. So it should hit by 2028 the mark of 1 trillion, which is quite impressive. Yeah. When we are looking into those industries and see what is driving this growth of the subscription payment, we see that it's spearheaded by the digital content services like music streaming, video streaming, but also gaming, for example, is picking up, or also e-publishing. But beside this, what is also funny and which we are more and more seeing is the adoption of physical products, which is going to get sold by subscription offerings. For example, which you always find quite funny, is that you can even buy your pet food via a subscription service, which is quite nice.
So you mentioned the unbelievable growth that's going on at the moment, and I'm interested to know, in a saturated market, how can merchants stay competitive?
Very good question. I think the first point which merchants have to consider by offering subscription, that it's much more complex than just offering one-off purchases. So therefore, the nature of subscription is heavily complex. And to stay competitive in this field, I think it's quite important that the streamlining the checkout experience should become a USP of a merchant itself. So this is also making the right decisions about considering what you're going to leave out through the checkout experience, and what are you asking your users as data for, or collecting the data before starting or during sign up for the subscription. Besides this, of course, having the right payment methods in place, localized payment methods being very important nowadays. And last but not least, that you have also a very agile, I would say, and a learning and adaptive retry mechanism in place for getting the best out of it.
So it's very interesting. You mention a whole host of very different industries in your earlier answer, iGaming through to pet food subscriptions. Do different industries face different challenges?
Yes, definitely. And those challenges are heavily influenced by, of course, the product or the service itself, what the merchant is intending to offer, but also about other factors like the demographics of the target group, the price which they are asking for the subscription, etc., and many other things. By naming an explicit example for that, if we are comparing, for example, a very simple 2 scenarios like video streaming and music streaming, which sounds quite similar, but they are quite different. For example, at video streaming services, the merchants itself are seeing quite a huge churn rate, which is quite in the nature of the service itself, because different platforms are having different content on the platform exclusively. So therefore, a user is tending to migrate or to churn from one service to the next one, because after you have seen this films or content which they have exclusively already, then he migrates over to another one, and therefore they are seeing a higher churn. This compared to music streaming, where users are technically quite loyal. They are signing up with music at the music streaming platform and staying with them usually for a very long time, which is raising more importance on prolongation of the recurrence of the payments, and therefore for staying under control or keeping the payment details up to date, which is having a different importance on those things. Yeah.
again, interesting, and you're right. Having thought about those two industries, they do both seem very, very similar. But now that you kind of mention it, I can see why people would churn more from video as opposed to the music. So, with that in mind, how do you see the future of subscription payments moving forward?
Yeah, of course, what we are expecting, as already mentioned earlier, the rise of subscription service is going to continue. So we are expecting further growth throughout those industries. And here, I think, which is also a point which the providers and merchants needs to consider in there, is that even though, for example, getting back to my video streaming service, the content itself is most of the time consumed on bigger screens like tablets or television, for example, but the sign up itself to the subscription service is mostly done on a mobile device. And here it's very important when we are focusing then on the payment methods which you're offering, that you're offering payment methods which are making it very handy and very seamless, the checkout experience. And here we are seeing that digital wallets and also carrier billing, where people are putting their payments on the mobile phone bill, are coming more and more into role and getting more and more importance. And beside this, the payment methods, it's also quite vital for the merchant that they also, of course, considering AI, if it's not right there already, that they are considering it for the future, for making a better subscription management and doing better and faster learnings for getting out best of it.
Brilliant. Clemens, thanks very much for joining us today at MPE.
Thank you.